Rockhounding at the Meijer's Garden and Sculpture Park. Now, I am not suggesting at all that you take anything. Of course, that would ruin it for other people. But ideas are free, and there's a lot of good ideas to be had at that garden and sculpture park because let's face it, a lot of times we display our finds, our specimens, our rocks that we find, and they're awesome, but we may not really display them very well. And I think Meyer's really got a great idea with these little rooms that they make out of garden material, plant material, and then there's this awesome sculpture by Rodin, Eve leaving the Garden of Eden. That's amazing the way they arrange the plantings around that sculpture. The American horse. Yeah, that's an awesome one. And there's no real room that does that justice. When you get to the sculpture park, the gardens, you're going to come into the lobby, and the walls of the lobby are a sculpture in and of themselves. So spend some time there. And then if it's a cool morning, which sometimes in Michigan we have cool mornings, so I would suggest maybe starting out in the tropical garden area. There's some beautiful plantings there. Everything seems to be in tip-top shape. It's a lot of fun to just stroll through here, spend a little bit of time here. I got there on a day that was really cold and I didn't have a jacket, so it was kind of nice to start out inside, not only in the tropical area, but also in the greenhouse area. And in the greenhouse area, there are some wonderful plantings, some very creative settings that have been that we enjoyed, that have been created for us. And then the other thing that was there, everybody loves to take selfies these days. And so the other thing that was there was a really nice place to stand in front of a beautiful wall of flowers and get some selfies. My wife and I and the people we were with, we took several pictures there. It was just a beautiful place to come and enjoy each other's company and remark on what great care the staff had taken in creating these settings. And so then we took a tram ride, and when we were on the tram ride, one of the first things they pointed out, even in the station right there, was the American horse, which you see off in the distance. And from a distance, it looks really small. Quite a different kind of look when you get up close to it. And that is my wife, 5'4", maybe 5'3", under the hoof. Now, this sleeping man sculpture, I would say I don't think men sleep like that out in the woods or in a garden, but maybe some do. Now, this other sculpture on the little hill there looks like a man from one side and looks like a woman from the other side. And then this horse here, it kind of looks like it's made out of driftwood, but in fact, it was wood and then it was cast in bronze. Now, this one was my favorite. This is Eve leaving the Garden of Eden. Of course, she's leaving in shame because she and Adam sinned. They had it made there in the garden, and they blew it. They blew it for themselves, and they blew it for everybody. So we would have blown it too if we'd been there. So this is just a beautiful setting. And then there are several fountains. I'm trying to think now of a fountain. Definitely there are some little waterfalls and water features. And then you go around the corner and wham, here's this brilliant red sculpture, which just takes you to a completely different place. And that's a lot of fun. And it takes a lot of nice pictures. And then you come upon one, it's like, okay, what is the meaning of this? And most artists, they want you to come up with your own interpretation of what this means. And so you've got these people, they're sitting around. They are made up completely of different letters of the alphabet. And they have no face. And I just wonder what is it that makes us feel like we have no face and we're not seen? Now here we go into the Japanese garden, which was spectacular. From what I understand, they have acres and acres there, and millions of dollars are spent in order to create it. You go up this winding trail all the way up to this little hill, and you can look out over a panoramic view of this incredible Japanese garden that, you know, I think was probably pretty difficult to put together. They had someone come in, an expert from Japan come in and place all the rocks exactly where they should go. And then In Michigan, I imagine that there might be a little bit of difficulty in coming up with plants and trees that are going to be resistant to a little bit colder climate than maybe what you or I might have if we don't actually live in Michigan. But well done, just totally well done. The water features, the paths, the placement of the stones, and it's big enough that you feel like you're there all by yourself. And then you go around a corner, and lo and behold, there are other people there. So it's just a very nice setting, kind of a feeling of solitude if you want it to be that way, but then you have interaction with other people as well. I think one of the nice things is if you take the time to look for the little trails that are not the main trails. Of course, here is a beautiful water feature, massive rocks. Just spend some time contemplating the passage of time and water running over these rocks. It's sight and sound. It's very stimulating. Now this is one of these little paths that you walk by, you might not realize it's a path, but each one of those stones is placed there so that you can get off the beaten path, take this other little path made up of stones that are smooth on the top surface. So it makes for just a very pleasant little journey. It only lasts a few seconds, but it's fun. And then I thought probably the children's garden was the best garden, other than Japanese garden, the actual best combination of plantings that would be fun and stimulating and vibrant with a lot of color. Now there are many, many things for the children to play on. Little houses, walkways, rope bridges, just stone quarry. It goes on and on and on. But I felt like this was, as far as the plantings would go, I thought this was very nice. And if it was just this, and this was just a garden on its own, this children's portion, I would say they hit a home run with this children's garden. Sculptures are also nice, but me personally, I was there for the plants. Enjoy. I'm just going to play a little bit of music now, but just enjoy, and thanks for watching.